So you've probably noticed that we've been posting a lot of call outs lately about problematic behavior, problematic situations that have occurred in the field of behavior analysis, etc. We're not just trying to be the TMZ of ABA, y'all. We are doing this for a reason. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about enabling and enablers today. If you're not aware, being an enabler is basically saying that you are not taking action, which allows somebody to continue to engage in a particular behavior. Generally, it's negative behavior, is the way that we talk about this. And so in ABA, we want to be very clear that we don't enable bad behavior. We don't enable problematic behavior, especially because we are working with very vulnerable populations which are susceptible to all forms of abuse. So when we talk about enabling in ABA specifically, we could be looking at several different ways that looks, the topography involved. So you could be paying for a CEU from somebody who has been problematic or continues to be problematic. You could be citing or referencing articles by that person who authored that research. You could be using textbooks by that person. You could be, if you coordinate coursework, which I do and I'm very mindful of this, you could be requiring students to read articles or books, or require them to even purchase articles or textbooks by problematic authors. I will make an exception to this though. If you are requiring article reads that are freely available, that you are not providing monetary compensation for in critical analysis, as in you are basically saying what is wrong with the work, that's different. But if you're requiring the read because it's important and because it's foundational to the field, that's where it's a problem. Basically attending any sort of school program by these problematic individuals, which is really tough because our field has tons of people who come into it every single year. And that said, we continue to grow. It's imperative that we are speaking up, that we are informing others, especially newcomers into the field, about what the history of ABA has looked like, what problematic behavior looks like, because otherwise they will never know. And they need to know, because these people, these behaviors that we are showing and platforming, they continue to have a voice in these spaces, a privileged voice, which is a huge issue. So do not be an enabler. Make sure that you are speaking up, make sure that you are staying informed, that you are informing others, and you are not engaging any of these